Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the UWF Football Show. I'm Will Kennedy. This is Coach Kaleb Nobles. We're in the locker room because this is the place where football players hang out. Coach, congratulations, win this week.
Thank you.
Shorter was in town here at Penn Air Field, 35-16 the final. You've talked a lot about wanting to get off to good starts and come out of the locker room hot. You guys have been able to do that the last few weeks. You know, Delta, Chowan, Mississippi College even, where you come out and play pretty good football. What's been the key to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've harped on it a bunch. Our players and the guys have really bought into it. We've practiced like that, trying to start out. We've moved some team periods around to first 20 minutes per practice, doing some good team stuff. So it's been competitive practice, and that stuff has shown up early in the games, and we've kind of adjusted play calling a little bit to get to that. And get our guys rolling a little faster, and we're going to keep doing that moving forward.
This is that part of the season. We're past the halfway point, coming into this one, rolling with a 3-game win streak. You had some guys missing for this, though. Ralph Ortiz, your linebacker, was out. Trayvon Mitchell still kind of nursing that injury he picked up at Chowan. You've had to shift pieces around both sides of the football. What's been the magic of getting that next man up to not just step up and fill a hole, but play well?
Yeah, I tell you, long story short, I mean, it's recruiting, right? Finding the best guys to build some depth and breeding competition. We tell our guys, like Ralph was the player of the year last year in the conference, and we want to bring other guys to help him out and to help him push him to play better. And so Ralph has played better because we've got guys brought him in to help compete and push him, and it's also created good competition behind him. So a guy like Jakobe Clinton being ready to play, a guy like a freshman, Kevin Roberts, being ready to play because Trayvon's been down has been phenomenal for us. And so I'm proud of those guys for staying ready. Like, those guys practice like they just played the other day. And so excited for them and excited for growth moving forward.
Nice to know from the coaching staff that when you've seen it in practice, it can translate to the game. Lucas Mello, your defensive line coach, tells me pregame, I'm out on the field, he says, I got guys that might have been going to play 5 or 10 snaps. They may go 60 today. So let's take a look at the highlights and kind of see some of these guys in action. You mentioned Jakobe Clinton. He'll pop up in the highlights in a second. You guys get the football first after Shorter wins the toss and defers. And how about that first drive? You get the opportunity to come out fast and start fast. Some nice short passing. Corey Scott is included. Marcus is finding him. A couple good runs, and you're moving right down the field.
No, kind of what we thought we were trying to do. We take a calculated shot, later in the drive. But played it well. Our guys did a phenomenal job of taking what was there and getting the ball out of their hands quick. I think that's something that Marcus has done well the last couple games. O-line has played phenomenal the last couple games and really done a lot better in pass pro than we started out. So good growth by them, and it's showing up early in games now.
Stack up a couple first downs, get a penalty on Shorter that helps, and all of a sudden you're down at the goal line. TJ Lane punches it in from 1 yard out, 7-0.
Yeah, great finish to the drive. Great job by the O-line being down the goal line and scoring, and good job by TJ, who's had a phenomenal 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and we're growing in the running game and doing a good job of finishing the drive.
Defense picks it right up. One unit helping the other unit. They force a 3-and-out the punt. You get the ball at your own 28 and get another good drive going down the field. Marcus was sharp early, especially, and really throughout the game, distributed the football well, 60% completion.
He was. He's done a really good job of getting the ball out of his hands, finding short passes to get the ball to his playmakers and letting those guys go get yardage after they catch the ball. So great job by those guys being on the same page and moving the football down the field.
You get down at the goal line and trying to run it in, and all of a sudden we run a little misdirection play. You roll boot Marcus out to the right. He's got a big target there. Hard to miss Jake Robinette, who goes 6'6", 250.
It is. Jake's a phenomenal player, big guy that, we use in the pass game a little bit, but it was really kind of a sell outside zone, quarterback outside zone, and then throw the corner by. So Jake did a great job. We practiced that well all week, and then I felt like we needed to use it early, so it was a good job by our guys execute.
How hard is it as a quarterback to hit somebody that wide open?
If I'm the quarterback, it's a little bit tougher. These guys are a lot better than I was, so hopefully we have a good opportunity to hit those guys when they're wide open like that.
Go back and forth possessions for a little while through the rest of the first quarter, and then you get it with a good opportunity after Virgil Emmons does it again, almost 3 yards away from another touchdown return, 42 yards on this one. He does a nice job of kind of letting it develop in front of him. Le'Veon Bell from the Steelers used to run that way as a running back, but once he gets that sideline, he's got some jets.
He does, and Virgil has great vision. We were just talking in the office a little while ago about he is very risky in the punt return game, but it pays off well a lot. He has great acceleration, so he does a good job of kind of staying patient and then bursting once he gets the ball. So he does a phenomenal job, and it's a testament to the whole unit. They've done a really great job. Coach Rims has really instilled a lot of good things in them to block well, and that stuff changes games.
Coach Nobles says he wants Virgil to bring one up our sideline so he can see it in person. 3 yards out, not too hard, right? One play, 3 yards. Jay Sharp puts it in for the touchdown. We love it. One play, 3 yards, 4 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, I say it all the time. My life is a lot easier on offense when we can get the ball inside the 3. Makes the play call a little bit easier. So great job by our defense flipping the field. Great job by the punt return unit taking one to the house and then finishing with a good touchdown run.
Shorter gets the ball to end the first quarter, goes on a drive. They get down the field, end up kicking a 36-yard field goal. Then things kind of stalled out a little bit, just kind of some back and forth. The offense kind of lost its mojo. Defense was doing a nice job, though. You're racking up tackles for loss like nobody's business. Leading the nation in it. We mentioned Jakobe Clinton earlier. Fills in for Ralph Ortiz. He's a monster in this game. 4 TFLs, 9 tackles overall. We'll have a pick later in the game as well.
Yeah, he played phenomenal, and we got stalled out on the goal line, so forced him back up against the goal line. So Jakobe had a great game. He's doing a phenomenal job of doing things the right way and staying ready when his moment's called. He excelled whenever that happened on Saturday.
Right before the half, you get the ball back with 2:48 left. You go on a 15-play, 65-yard drive that gets it down to the 1-yard line. Unable to punch it in from there. Turn it over on downs. I know going to the locker room, that leaves you with kind of that feeling like,
Yeah, no, that's how I felt walking down to do the interview at halftime, and was very frustrated. But we responded and played well to a response that we needed to talk about at halftime. And so, still things we got to clean up, and not pleased with how we finished, but we got to keep working on that.
But you came in at halftime. He grabbed the ukulele. He played Kumbaya. Everything was really good, right?
Very calm at halftime. There was no yelling at all.
Coming out for the second half. 21-3 to score at the half. We'll pick up the second half highlights here. You guys get out of the locker room. Defense does it again. Forces a punt on shortest first possession. You get the ball back. Real good field position here. It was a short punt. You're at your own 45 to start this drive. Mixing it up again. Some passes, some runs. And then the big one, Micaiah Stevenson. Hadn't played a lot of snaps, tried downs, and maybe they didn't realize he was eligible.
Yeah, no, it was a busted coverage by them. And I tell the guys all the time, like, it's not our job to make them right. It's to make them wrong. And so, they had a corner that was supposed to be probably deep third, and he jumped the out route. So, but that's part of coaching and part of guys we've put them in a good position to mess with people on defense. And Micaiah has been just like Jakobe, and guys that I love that stepped up and played well. He's been practicing well, and he's kind of exceeding in the offense that we're running now. So excited by him and the growth he's made.
43 yards on the throw and catch from Marcus Stokes for the touchdown at 28-3 at that point. Punts and some punts, and then kind of later in that quarter, midway through the third quarter, Shorter gets the ball. It's a quick drive. It's 3 plays. It's 58 yards, but the bulk of that's the 51-yard touchdown run. Their quarterback, Josh Brown, played well in this game. He was the only QB they had, and when he got away on the right side over there, he pulled it.
He did. He's a very good athlete, and they ran a good scheme to have 2 tight ends on the backside, nobody else, and double arc both those guys read the end, and we didn't set it up well on the backside. So definitely things we're cleaning up, and he's a phenomenal athlete, and you can't do that whenever good players have the ball in hand. You got to be able to find ways to tackle.
You guys get the football back. We've seen you guys answer touchdowns with touchdowns a lot. You go nice drive, 12 plays, 71 yards, get to the 3-yard line, and it just stopped right there. Ended up with a 4th down. Marcus kind of gets flushed out of the pocket and has to throw one towards the back of the end zone, up for grabs, and they get an interception.
Yeah, just things that we got to clean up. And if I were to show you the film, it's one guy doing his job every play, and so we got to figure out how ways to get that O-line working a little bit better up front and making sure they're hat on the head down there. So things we got to clean up, but obviously a good drive. We just got to finish better. 28-10 at this point. They get the ball with the waning seconds of the third quarter, and they go on a drive that is helped. There's some penalties in there. There's a couple, nice plays that they make, but they go 19 plays. I don't know about the last time I've seen a 19-play drive. 68 yards. They kind of stall out. Try a field goal. You guys block it. Cam Canterbury picks it up. He starts to return it. He gets stacked up. He's getting pushed backwards, and the ball pops out. They punched it out. Nice job. And all of a sudden, they've got the ball to 2. For sure. It's frustrating plays that we talked about in the team meeting, about, hey, we got to clean this up. We need to be better situational football and know when we should pick the ball up, when we shouldn't. We shouldn't have picked the ball up. We should have let it be basically down like a punt and get the ball on the 20. So things we've talked about in the dress, and we got to hold them for the football and not give them free plays.
Charles Aaliyah, their running back, punches it in from 2 yards out to make it 28-16 with 6:45 left. We got a ball game. Sure. It's a 12-point game at this point. They went for 2 and didn't get it. You guys punt. You get the football back on downs, and then you're operating a nice little drive, good field position because they had to go for it. So you're starting this drive at their 35. Get a penalty, or not a penalty, overturned call that looked like Corey had a catch on the sideline. You said you knew right away trying to run a play quick because his foot was out of bounds.
I saw it right in front of me. It was a great one-handed catch, but his foot was about half a foot out of bounds, and they called him in. So I'm like, let's run a play. Let's go. Don't give him a chance to review it. So hit the 2-minute warning, gave them a chance to slow things down and review. So we knew we were probably going to get a 3rd and 4 coming out of that, and a great job by Jay Sharp to execute on the last play.
Yeah, you did. The next play you ran worked out all right. It's a nice little screen pass to Jay Sharp, and this is is it a running play? Is it a passing play? Right. Marcus gets the touchdown in the yards. Jay Sharp did a lot of the work. Really nicely designed play, and you mentioned Jay executed.
For sure. They did a great job. It was a little mesh concept that we practice all the time, and want to stay ready to use it. They blitz both backers inside, which set it up perfectly, hit Jay on the rail route, and phenomenal job executing by everybody, all 11 on the field, to go score a touchdown.
35-16 there. Shorter got one more crack at it, and let's cap it off with the guy who was the player of the game, Jakobe Clinton. Comes up with an interception at the end of the game. A really nice play. It's a weird one. There were some weird penalty calls. He got called for unsportsmanlike, but he's moving towards their sideline after he catches it. Right. He's just celebrating, but long and short of it, you get the victory. And you said in the post game coming off the field, you're still kind of feeling that, nice to win, but you said, I believe, I'm going to quote you here, it's easier to prepare after an ugly win than an ugly loss. It wasn't everything you wanted, but it was the 4th straight victory.
For sure. I mean, as a coach who we sit up here all hours of the day and game plan, and we want to have score as many points as we can, and there's a lot of things that we left out there. But as a coach, as I keep growing, we got to celebrate wins, and they are not easy to come by in college football. So an ugly win is certainly better than a loss at any point. So we're excited about the win, and we know we got to keep rolling.
5-2 now, 4 straight wins, heading to Erskine next week. But first, let's look at the stats a little bit. Marcus, 20 of 33, 271, almost 300 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Did a nice job. I mentioned the 60% completion. The receivers, Corey Scott and Zach Alford, 7 catches for Corey, 5 for Zach. Nobody had a 100-yard game, but they made catches to pick up first downs, to move the chains, to get drives going.
Yeah, no, Marcus did a good job of spreading the wealth, and we really threw the ball to a bunch of receivers the other day. And so great job by those guys, being unselfish, just loving the offense, moving the ball downfield. And so phenomenal job by everybody to get that done.
Jakobe Clinton with those numbers we already mentioned. And then 74 yards rushing for Shorter, 51 on the 1 touchdown run by Josh Brown. You guys throttled the rest of their running.
No, we did. Our defense has done a great job of creating TFLs, moving a lot of scrimmage, not even worried about who the guys are on the field, just doing our job. We've had a lot of rotation on the front 7, so excited about how they played again and expecting that moving forward.
We're heading to Due West, South Carolina this weekend for a game with Erskine back into conference play. You know the area well. It's up near Clemson.
For sure.
Stone's throw from Anderson up there. It's a Clemson home game weekend. There'll be a lot of activity up that way,
Yep.
but a little bit different up going this part of the. We've been to Tigerville, but
sure.
A little different going to Erskine.
Yeah, going to Erskine and playing in Due West, and first time we've ever played them. So a good opponent. Their records are very misleading. I've watched a lot of film on them in the last 48 hours and since we got the field Saturday. So good defense. Do some very good things on defense, and kind of a similar structure to Chawan as far as 3D linemen. So going to be prepared for that. And offense, they do some good stuff. So we got to keep them in front of us and eliminate big plays.
We're talking about young men, obviously, and they're young, there's enthusiasm. Right. How do you keep them from looking at, hey, we're on a 4-game win streak, they've lost 5 straight, it's going to be easy when we roll to do it?
Yeah, it's certainly something that we address, and I don't hide from the fact that, hey, we got to play a good team, that we know we got to play well, and to me, it's all about us and how we play. It doesn't matter who's across the sideline or across the field. We got to play well and show up and play well no matter who's over there.
Playoff mentality, right? We won this week, got to win next week, got to keep it rolling. This will be a 1 o'clock kick here in Pensacola time for this game against Erskine up in Due West, South Carolina. We'll be on the radio at 12:45 with the pregame show. It is broadcast on Flow Sports as well. There'll be some watch parties around town. Seville Quarters, Sammy Barker's, Bubba's 33. Get together with like-minded Argos and enjoy this one. Coach, good luck on the road this week. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back with another edition of the UWF Football Show next week. As always, go Argos.